Hello, my wonderful spirit guides. Today I'm going to be reacting to Florence and the Machine, High as Hope. And this is my first reaction back from my holiday that I've been on, where I went and saw Aurora and Dorian Electra. If you want to check out those vlogs, then they're on my channel. I'll link them probably in the description below, but I probably won't. They're on my channel and they're very recent, so you'll find them. But it would be awesome if you did go and have a look. I'm actually really happy with the response that they've gotten so far. I posted my Aurora one just yesterday, and it's got about 1,500 views, and I really wasn't expecting that, because obviously I'm a reactor, I'm not a vlogger, so it really meant a lot that you've all I don't know, everyone, like the Aurora fans, have like really joined me on the journey, and I'm sure if it was a Florence vlog that you would join me on the journey as well. So it's nice that you want to see a bit of me. But it's just lovely. It's really warmed my heart and made me feel very inspired and motivated coming back and doing another reaction for you, because I absolutely freaking love what I do. And I'm very, oh, I got goosebumps saying that then. I'm such an emotional person. But that was crazy. But anyway, I'm going to react to High as Hope, and this is the last one before the new one. And I don't know anything about the new one. I've skimmed, you know, I've seen little areas where there's like new songs and stuff. But I will tell you something. Last night I had a dream. This same thing happened to me with Aurora before. But anyway, it's so funny to talk about Aurora when it's happened with Aurora. But anyway, I had a dream that I heard Florence's new music, and it had a melody, and I remember being like, stop, to my friends, being like, don't play it, I haven't reacted to it, don't play it. And I remember it so vividly in my dream, trying to block my ears, but I could hear this melody, and the colours it was giving me was very purple, like a rural purple and deep blues. How bizarre is that though? I wonder if the actual album will give me that. I have no idea, but that was very bizarre. Anyway, enough about that one though, because we're doing High as Hope today. Yeah, if you'd like to go on Patreon, please do. You get watch this uncut, and you get early access on videos in the first tier. Second tier, you can join in the live streams. I'm hoping to do one very soon actually. I'll think of the date soon, but most likely next week, just so I can get back into the spirit of doing videos like this again. But yeah, they're themed and so on, so I'll think of what the next theme is and I'll post it somewhere. But yeah, that's so much fun, by the way. I love the live streams. It's like, oh, it just is so freeing, fun. I get to chat with you, and it's just nice, it's cozy. And then the last tier is album requests. I'm not entirely sure if there's spaces there right now, but it always is changing, so just have a look, keep scanning if you want to do that, or DM me and I can sort something out. But anyway, yes, let's get into it. Like and subscribe too if you like it. Oh yeah, I haven't shown you the makeup, so you can decide what this is for yourself, but I was trying to make it look like kind of like flowers in a way, you know, but it kind of looks like frog spawn. Either way, it's kind of springtime, it suits the jumper, and yeah, it's colourful, makes me happy. But yeah, I thought I'd show that a little bit closer, because I know from far away it can look different, you know what I mean? Though I remember in art they did say like viewing art from further away is like the best thing to do. But anyway, especially my art. You don't look too close. But anyway, sorry, I'm all excitable. First song is called June. Okay, June. Is this going to give me some kind of summery vibes? I have no idea, but let's go. June. Ah, I'm scared. I'm excited.
The show was ending and I had started to cry when the sky turned black.
I like that.
I am so high.
Ooh, her vocal.
I can see an angel.
Ooh, I'm shivering.
It was a heavy day of defiance.
The lyrics are killing it.
And you were brokenhearted and the
Wow, okay, so the intro is just very like gentle actually, and very emotive and vulnerable. Wow, I'm loving it. I found it really cool that she did the chorus in that kind of way where it feels like it's building rather than feeling like a climax or feeling like a destination. It felt like heading to a destination, but just saying hold on to each other, just so beautiful. Like it felt hopeful and like a statement, a direction. I really loved it at the start when she said, woke up in Chicago and the sky turned black. And when she said the sky turned black, it went, did like that kind of ominous looming sound. And you could really feel like it was a big dark cloud kind of hovering over the sky. Oh, wow, I loved that. And you're so high to high, you have to be an angel. I'm so high, I could see an angel. That's interesting. I love that because it's either like, you know, you're so high, being like, you're so much higher up than me, you're bigger than me, you're almost better than me, or you're on your high horse, you are someone to look up to, you're on a pedestal. You have to be an angel, you know, because that's how high you are. Angels are in heaven, that's the highest you can go, right? And then I'm so high, I could see an angel. And that kind of makes you think that she's thinking, or maybe it's because I'm feeling high that I think you're an angel. You know, because I feel so high, either drug related or even just like high on love, like I'm so in love with you that you appear to me as an angel. It's, oh, I just love it. It's like building this person up, but also being aware and going, but maybe that's just the way I feel. Ah, that's so gorgeous. Verse 2, let's go.
world was two, and I was beginning to lose my grip. This time I admit I felt it really start to slip.
Wow. I love the lyrics. Wow. Oh my god, it's so emotive. Makes me want to cry already. It's the first song. Wow. How do I comprehend that? Wow, oh my, I do not say. The way it closed. I love that. I loved it. I loved it wholeheartedly. Jesus, I'm really becoming a Florence fan. No, I am a Florence fan now. Ever since I watched the Odyssey, obviously it's on Patreon, I couldn't upload it to YouTube, but ever since I watched that, I just went, yeah, I love this woman. I love her. I think she's incredible. Like, I just think she's so, it's just weirdness. It's weird. It's like she's so mature and so like in touch and aware and, you know, there with her emotion. She expresses it like, she really embodies what, to me, a powerful, inspirational woman feels like for me. And she might not feel that way, but to me, I see her as a real woman. And there's something about that that makes me just feel so, I don't know, like I can look up to her as an elder almost, even though she's not really old or anything, but it's just, I can't explain it. She has a wisdom about her, and in her voice, the way she carries it and the music, just incredible. And she's so wild with her emotion too. She's not afraid to let it out and be wild with it and free. She's not stoic at all, controlled. She lives on the emotion, and I just love it. It's like a tide, you know, it goes in, it goes out, it flows, it crashes, or it, you know, whatever. She's just something else. But that song was stunning, and I love the way it got a bit like, I had like a little synth come in. I thought, oh, that's a bit different for Florence. And then you had those kind of like rocky, like live instrument sort of sounds, and that just like beefed it up in a way that felt like just had passion in it. And I loved how she repeated the you're so high bit, because that's a bit that stood out to me earlier on. So I was like, oh yes, that meant a lot. Okay, next song is called Hunger. Oh, I love it. It's quite quiet, this album, I feel. But yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but like it feels really, it's quite quiet, this album. I don't know if that's just my ears because I've been at, you know, live shows recently. But yeah.
I thought that love was a kind of emptiness, And at least I understood then the hunger I felt.
Oh, it's nice. I love that, like, kind of folky indie kind of rhythm. Yeah. Oh. So this song feels like it's quite popular, mainstream, and by the looks of it, it is. It's got 119 million listens, so it has got a popularity to it. However, when I think of songs like The Dog Days Are Over and, you know, some of the more popular ones that I didn't enjoy, this is a big step up because this is a popular one. However, it's got a nice feeling. It's not too chaotic. You can hear the dimensions within the sound, and it's also got something still emotive about it. I know a lot of people like some of the songs I didn't like, but this is just how I feel for me. This one has some texture to it that I really do enjoy. Wow.
The fool of death with your beauty. Thought that love was in the drugs, but the more I took, the more it took away.
That's true.
Picking it apart.
Sorry, I really had to sneeze then. Whoa. I didn't want to do it during the music. Wow, it was insane. Anyway, yeah, I love that. I thought that what love was in the drugs, but the more I took, the more it took away. And I could never get enough. That's interesting because actually a lot of time with addiction stuff, it does numb you completely. Like, not completely, but it can very much numb you. There's even, you know, there's properties in certain opiates that can actually kill the part of your brain that can feel dopamine and happiness once you stop taking it or whatever. So that's, you know, not actually untrue. It's actually a fact.
We all have the hunger. We all have the hunger. So free the way you use your body, baby. Come on.
I love that. Her vocals are stunning.
And I'll forget to worry.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, like I said, for a catchy song and an upbeat mainstream sound. Listen, hey, also, I love mainstream sounds. Like, if you get a really good mainstream sound, I love it. But there's a different type of mainstream where it feels kind of manufactured, right? Made for the masses. And this is not that. This is made for her, and I love it. Also, I remember I said I didn't like the song Ship to Wreck by Florence, but I love that song now. Like, I'm so into it. But yeah, it's interesting how you can hear something on first listen and go, oh, you know, you can hear the generic qualities and so on. But with this one, I could hear the qualities, but it was so fucking brilliant. I loved it. All right, then. I'm going to read what it says about it quickly. It says, during a premiere and interview with Annie Mac on BBC Radio 1, Florence said, it's also a celebration of how much I see young people changing things, like, no, I want to look this way. They're just so switched on and engaged, and they're not going to be told how they should look and behave. I was really lost when I was a teenager. I was really confused and sad, so I feel really inspired by the young women I see today. Makes me want to cry a little bit. Why am I so emotional? What the fuck? I don't know why this has got me so emotional this quickly. Because I was just talking about how I see Florence and how I look at her as an inspiration, how I look at her as a wise, like, woman and so on. And then she, in this song, is reflecting back, saying how she looks at younger women and how it inspires her. And, like, how they're more, like, open and, you know, exploring their identity in a much more freer way. And what a beautiful thing to sing about. That just shows her heart is so in the right place. Oh, I don't know. I think there's going to be some tears at some point. Don't ask me why I'm so emotional. I've already had my period, so I don't know what's going on. But that's beautiful. That's okay. Next one was called South London Forever. I like that.
When I go home alone, I drive past the place where I was born, in the places that I used to drink.
Oh, I like the sound of this. It's different.
And the boys in bands, high on and holding hands with someone that I just met.
She's really laying it out on the table.
It doesn't get. There can be nothing better.
That is gorgeous. What the fuck? This feels so nostalgic. Wow. This is so beautiful. Oh, I love that lyric. Okay, I have to pause, but oh, this is gorgeous. She's really digging deep, isn't she? She's really digging back into the past and that feeling of being a teenager and being like, nothing can get better than this. Just being with your friends, doing crazy things and being out late and, you know, even when maybe you're not even meant to be out. Like, that's talking from my experience where when I was a teenager, I'd go out, I'd tell my mum I'm staying at a friend's house and she lived in a little villagey town just like over a big bridge that is near ours, like near where I live. So what I'd do is I'd go out for a little bit and then around 8 p.m. I'd have to start walking all the way back over to that little town where my friend lives because my mum would want a phone call from the house phone at 9 p.m. So I would be walking over the bridge, a really long bridge, get all the way up there, and it would take about an hour or about 45 minutes, but both ways it would be about an hour and a half sort of thing. I get up there, ring my mum, and my friend had one of those house phones that you put your finger in and you spin it, like an old-fashioned one. I'll get a picture. But so I'd sit there on a little side and ring my mum and be like, "Hi mum, yeah, I'm just at so-and-so's house and we're just having a nice little sleepover, just watching a movie." And then I put the phone down and be like, "Right, let's get myself ready," and walk all the way back to town to meet up with all my friends. And it'll be about like, yeah, it'd probably be about 9:45 at that point. But then I'd stay out all night doing crazy things, jumping in the swimming pool, like the outdoor swimming pool, climbing the fence and so on, doing all sorts, you know, going for late night drives and like, you know, the boys who are like 17 had just got their car, we'd take late night drives and race each other down the roads and go to people's houses. And then we'd always end up back at my friend's house. So I'd do that walk again. I would do that walk another time back over that bridge, but we would have like a bunch of us in tow, like, and we'd wait outside by the garage of the house, about 8 or 10 of us. And my friend would go and check to see if her parents were asleep, and if they were, we'd all come like skulking in and like just like put some music on quietly and start drinking in the living room and so on. And honestly, yeah, at that point it couldn't get better than that. Really couldn't. Being a teenager, it's like you have those moments, or it can't get worse than this, it can never get worse than this. But then those moments where you're just exploring life and exploring like the things that you wouldn't be able to explore when you're a child, or you didn't even think about as a child, it really feels incredible. It's mad. Like being a teenager, you're still a child, but you're wanting to experience adult experiences, and it's so funny in that way when you're a teenager, because your mind is still so immature that it all just feels like this big chaotic playground where it could be good and bad. But so hearing this and hearing the, you know, being on a museum, someone was making love in the grass, you know, I forgot my name, and all these different things. And when you love someone as a teenager, it feels so strong as well, those crushes, you know. But I love this, and everything I ever did was just another way to scream your name. That feels like you saying everything I did, from what I wore, from what I listened to, from what I sang, from where I went to who I was friends with, was all this big scream for your attention, basically. It's also that you noticed me. I love that. And obviously I love the way it went over and over and over and over again. And the drums felt like that repetition. I really like this. It gives me nostalgia and deep, strong feelings. I don't know. I love the melody as well. It's really unique.
Wanting children of our own, I want a space to watch things grow. There's no such thing as snow. And I don't know anything. Just another way to scream your name. world's a flame was just another way to scream your name.
I love it. I love it. That might be my favourite one so far. And I've loved them all. I don't know how that has happened, but that one might be my favourite. Just something about it really spoke to me. And I really liked that whole bit. And we're just children wanting children of our own. I want a space to watch things grow, but did I dream too big? Do I have to let it go? That's very interesting to me. I think there's something deeper to it, but in my head it made me think of when I was young and I thought of my future. I had a very vivid picture of what it would look like, and I guess I still do now, but my future now is me in my 40s, whereas my future back then was me in my 20s or my 30s, you know? So it just gets, it goes and goes and goes, but you're not doing the things that you imagined, however you are doing a little bit of them, if that makes sense. But I remember when I was 16, 15, I was obsessed with Audrey Hepburn, and I used to read all the books about her, and I was desperate to live a life like she had. Like, she lived very wholesomely, I suppose, with her children. And I wanted to live in a way where we didn't have TVs. We would live by a woods and we would go out and explore without any digital, you know, influences. However, that's not the way it's gone. And I'm fine with that now, you know. Now I'm okay with that, like, because we do our best, if you know what I mean. But now, as I am, I imagine myself in my 40s, and I've got a very vivid picture of what my house will look like, where it will be placed, what I will be like. I've actually started making my house on The Sims, my future dream house on The Sims, which is hilarious. But I have a very distinguished image of who I'll be, and it's bizarre, like, it makes no sense, but it's nice to have like a goal maybe, or feel myself becoming that person a little bit more. However, maybe I don't have to be that person at all. It's just nice to think about. It's better to think of a future like that rather than a future so bleak. However, I do think here, Florence has this feeling of like, maybe at some point I thought too much about my future and we really don't know what it'll be like. What if one day there's no such thing as snow? Like, you might imagine your place in a snowy place, but then what if actually the future is that there's no snow anymore? She's basically saying you can't actually imagine your future. You really can't, because you have no idea what will be happening around the world. That's what I got from it anyway. And there's almost like a crisis within that when she says, oh God, what do I know? Almost like a frustration, like I don't know, like how can we think about the future when we don't know shit, you know? I don't know, I thought that was interesting. Okay, anyway, the next song is called Big God. Oh, I like that. I like that progression. So dark, theatrical.
God,
oh, come on.
Big enough to hold your love.
Am I gonna love this? Because I already feel like I am.
You need a big God. Big enough to fill you up. To my messages, you do not reply.
Ooh.
You know, never know. The places that I go, you'll always be my favorite ghost. You need a big God to fill you up.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Sometimes I think it's getting better. The process, well, Jesus Christ, it hurts.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Jesus Christ, it hurts.
Wow. It's given me a little bit of lingua ignota, I'm not going to lie, that little background, Jesus Christ, like that cry tone, absolutely. I love how simple this is, but it just moves in that dark, pained, angry, it's almost like depressive way. Oh my fucking God. And also, you'll always be my favourite ghost. That's so cool. Getting angry. Wow, it sounds like she's talking about like someone a little bit narcissistic. I mean, I hate to use the word like that, but you know, it's a little bit cringy. It's very overused, but it's also a word that has come out, you know, recently that is just the only word you can say to fit something. you know, you need a big God big enough to hold your love. You need a big God big enough to fill you up. This person can't like feel love on a human level degree, if that makes sense. There's never enough love. And with narcissism, narcissists usually need love on a big level, masses of people and so on. But anyway, then she says, you keep me up at night to my messages you do not reply. You know I still like you the most, the best of the best and the worst of the worst. Very toxic, yo-yoing, you know? Well, you can never know the places that I go. I still like you most. You'll always be my favourite ghost. And like, you'll always be my favourite ghost sounds like someone that's never really there for her. You'll always be my favourite person who's never there for me. Wow, I love it. And I love the feeling.
Need a big God.
I love the rhythm and those little, you know, violins kind of.
Show your affection, let it rain on me. Hold on to the sea. Slide down to the sea.
Oh, nice bit of creak. Oh, that's gorgeous. That was great. That was really, really good. I love that. That didn't feel like 4 minutes. It felt like 2 minutes. Crazy. I am going to read a little bit about this one. Big God is about, obviously, an unfillable hole in the soul, but mainly about someone not replying to my text. Every time I read a song, like something about what a Florence song means, it always has something so randomly minor or so specific or so personal that it's like you've written a whole song about this like very specific thing, and that's how, you know, music, you know, that's what art is. It's an expression of like emotion, and like it can be art as many things, but it's an expression of something you want to get off your chest. You know, that's how I do it with poetry. It's about something that I'm feeling in a moment that I want to write about. So I absolutely love that. According to Florence, the song was written to provide a tense atmosphere with a feeling of release at the end. The co-producer, Emil Haney, attempted to add strings to the sparse introduction, but Florence refrained from including these in order to maintain this tense sound. Very good, tension and release, do love it. And you could really feel the pull on the drum as well. You know, it feels not like you know, at all. It had something that made it feel like whatever, which gives it a little bit of extra tension, which I absolutely love. She got ghosted and she did not like it. Next song is called Sky Full of Song.
Are you still awake? A good friend
Very
told me
folky.
you've been staying out so late. Screaming at my father and you were screaming at me.
Wow.
Kissing strangers, I was causing such a scene. 'Cause I've been flying for too long.
Wow.
I couldn't hide from the thunder in a sky full of song.
Wow. The lyrics, I
I
can't.
want you so full of song. Hold me down, I'm so tired now. Take me down, I'm too tired now. Starts to play in a city without seasons. It keeps raining in LA. I feel like I'm about to fall. Hear the sirens, but I cannot walk away. Grab too long, I couldn't hide.
This is very simple so far, like just a little plucky strings, little like kind of glistening sounds, like, you know, little tambourine sounds. I don't know what it is yet. And the way it just ba-dum-dum-dum-dum. It's very much about the words. And I'm feeling a lot from these words, but I also feel like I want to look into them afterwards.
And I want you so badly, but you could be anyone. You're at the sky.
Wow.
I thought I was flying, but maybe I'm dying tonight.
Wow.
I'm dying tonight. But maybe I'm dying tonight.
I love her little voice wiggles. Dying.
Amy, you're at the sky. Shoot, shoot. And
I'd have to say it's probably my least favourite song on the album, but I still really enjoyed it. I think it was just my least favourite because it was just what it was. I can't really explain why. It just didn't have a lot of textures to it that I loved, but I still really liked it. It made me think of what's he called? Icarus, who flew too close to the sun. So I imagine there's a lot of like ties in with that. I did like this line, and I want you so badly, but you could be anyone. That was interesting. Like, actually, she just wants love. She just wants someone to hold her, to not be lonely. And you could be anyone. It's not a specific person she's talking about. She just wants someone to hold her or be there for her. I'm not entirely sure yet. Florence said in a statement, "This was a song that just fell out of the sky, fully formed. Sometimes when you're performing, you get so high, it's hard to know how to come down. There's this feeling of being cracked open, rushing endlessly outwards and upwards, and wanting somebody to hold you still, bring you back to yourself. It's an incredible, celestial, but somehow lonely feeling." Yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than maybe experiencing that big, celestial, incredible feeling, but with someone else, you know? Rather than on your own. I guess like maybe coming home after a show and being like alone would feel kind of sad and not being able to experience it with someone. Lovely. Okay, next song, Grace.
I'm sorry I ruined your birthday. Make my mother proud. Stop this phase I'm in, she deems dangerous. But this is the only thing I've ever had any faith in. Grace.
Wow.
And it was such a mess. Grace. You are so low.
Okay, number one, is she talking about a person called Grace? Or is she talking about, you know, grace as a thing, like doing something with grace? Or is she talking about something religious, like faith and grace and so on? I think it sounds like she's actually talking about a person, though. And again, another personal story. Maybe her sister?
Was behaving strangely. All the walls were melting and there were mermaids everywhere. People's feelings. This is the only thing I've ever.
Wow.
I know you carry us.
I like that. Oh, I love that.
You are so loved.
Interestingly, on that part where she says, "I'm sorry I ruined your birthday, you have turned 18, and the sunshine hit me and I was behaving strangely. All the walls were melting and there were mermaids everywhere, hearts flew from my hands and I could see people's feelings." That very much sounds like she took a hallucinogenic to me, and maybe she did it at someone's birthday and she feels guilty about it. It says here, Florence describes drawing the focus at her younger sister's birthday, high on acid and hallucinating. I said sister as well. I thought so. And that makes it more sad when she says, "Grace, I know you carry us." Like her sister's like someone that carries them. She's the child of the family that is the one that looks after everyone and so on. Oh. I relate to that. I do. Wow.
And you are treated the worst.
Oh, that's so
Haven't
sad.
spoken in a long time. Sometimes
The reverb.
this is the only thing I've ever had any faith in. Oh, grace. You are so
Wow. That vocal.
I know you carry us. It was such a fucking mess.
Wow.
This is the only thing I've ever had any faith everything.
It's beautiful.
This is the only thing.
Definitely very emotional, isn't it? My eyes are watering right now. I don't know if you can see, but I'm trying not to let the tears come out. Oh, really trying not to. Yeah. Beautiful. Interesting. For her whole life, Florence has always felt like the little sister, despite being older. Yeah, I'm actually the second oldest, but I've always felt like the older sister as well. So I feel emotional from the other side of, maybe I feel emotional for the sister. I think that's what I'm feeling, imagining hearing this for myself. Being Grace, I suppose, if that's her name. Yeah, I guess I imagine being in her shoes, hearing this, and how much that would mean to me. It says here, speaking to the Sunday Times, Florence states, Grace, my sister, was literally like, what the fuck? You put me through all that, now this. You could have just told me you loved me. You don't have to be so English about it, then go make a pop song out of it. I have huge feelings for her. She's such an important person in my life, but there's no way we could sit down in front of each other and go, I love you so much. But our family is riddled with intimacy issues. We're terrible at being told we're loved and telling people we love them. So that song is just like a big bomb. Trying to keep it together here, guys. Why does Florence do this to me? Literally, stop. Between the last album and this one, it's too emotional. I do like it though. Next one is called Patricia. I wonder who this one's about now. Who's Patricia? Right, come on then.
Oh, Patricia, you've always been my North Star.
Oh, it's a homage to Patti Smith.
And I bet you take my hand in your hand.
Oh, I like the sound of this.
From you the flowers grow.
Ooh, that's a nice harmony.
Beautiful.
Wow. Oh, I love that. I love what she's doing with her vocals in this album. I love the rocky feeling to it as well. Oh, this is so cool. I think Patti Smith was a 70s artist. I don't know a lot about Patti Smith actually, but I do know that she's a bit like, she's kind of like a bit punk rock, maybe. Definitely rock. My mum likes Patti Smith, but I still feel like I don't know anything about her. This always happens. But it's really cool that she's actually making a whole song about someone who's really inspired her and so on. Like, that's beautiful. I wonder if Patti Smith has heard this. I guess I'll find out at some point when I read about it. Oh, yeah.
And you do what you can, you only take as much as you can grab with two hands. Do you feel love?
Wow. I love that. Love. I love it. Beautiful. Wow. Wow.
Think of you often in a city where reality
so light.
is long and forgotten, and it's such a wonderful thing to love. Such a wonderful thing to love.
Pretty ethereal.
It's such a wonderful thing.
These little instruments just. Wow, that's really cool that she's saying that, because there's a lot of the songs felt like she was saying how love is confusing or dark or empty, or like her thoughts on love were, you know, not the most positive. But then here it's like really nice, like it's such a wonderful thing to love. Something about it's making me think, are some of these maybe references to some of Patti Smith's lyrics or songs themselves? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know her music, but I just have a feeling that would be like a good idea to do. I was also thinking how brave it is to like make a song for one of your idols, like the pressure you'd feel doing that. I mean, I felt nervous making a song for my boyfriend. yeah, well, he's one of the biggest critics, so. Awesome, okay. Next one was called 100 Years.
I believe in you and in our hearts we know the truth, and I believe in love.
Oh, nice.
And the darker it gets, the more I do.
Wow.
Try to never turn to night.
Wow, that's a far cry from the Black Sky at the start of the album.
Too much. I cannot get you close enough. 100 arms, 100 years. Let me hold it lightly. Give me arms to pray with instead of ones that hold too
Wow, that's so cool.
tightly. We raise our voices and let our hearts take flight.
I love how sparse it is. Wow, then it fills up. Wow. Yeah. Ooh. Love that. My hell breath fills. Hell breath fills. I don't know how she said it, but it was like like she was actually holding her breath. That's so cool. But also, give me arms to pray with instead of ones that hold too tightly. That's so good. I love it. I really like this feeling. Wow. Oh, that's so gorgeous. Also, she talks about, you know, let me hold it lightly, and then, you know, because she holds so tightly, but then you get these little moments where it is nothing but light, feathery space and sound that resembles that lightness that she wants to be able to hold with. It's interesting. It feels like a grip and then a release, grip, release. Ooh, a bit southern. Very cool. Yes, sing it. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, come on. Instrumentation. Ooh, that was good. That was really good to come, like, obviously Patricia had that rocky feeling, but that one had that epic feeling that I was kind of missing throughout the songs, Skyfall song, Grace and Patricia. I was missing that epicness, and it came right back with that. Yeah, the song describes a time in 2016 when multiple major world events were occurring, which felt overwhelming for Florence and rendered her feeling helpless. Totally understand that. That's because of her big heart. She feels those things on a big level. I fully understand. Oh, wow, okay. Song number 9. This is the second to last song. And it's called The End of Love. Okay. Don't know how I feel about that yet. Ooh, that's tense. That's tense. Very cinematic. Interesting.
I feel nervous in a way that can't be named. I dreamt last night of a sign that read the end of love. Dreaming it was a good line for a song.
Very good.
We were a family pulled from the flood. You tore the floorboards up. Wash away, wash away. We were reaching in the dark.
I love her vocals. They sound so clear.
Always been in love with you. Let the
Again, that just makes me want to cry.
not wash away. That summer in New York.
please.
Was it so far to fall? She was.
Wow.
Came down from the mountain and ghosted me again.
Damn. Why? Why did you do that, Joshua?
That summer in New York, wash away, wash away. So far to fall.
Wow.
Wash away, wash away.
Gosh, it's really beautiful. Something about that just, yeah. Okay. Okay. Talking to old 92.3, Florence explained, for me, it was about dealing with love in a different way, perhaps not love in a romantic sense, but the end of love that came from a place of lack or need. This echoes the sentiment of hunger, which describes a human need to search for things to fill the voids in our lives, such as with love and learning to accept that feeling instead of endlessly attempting to patch it with fleeting relationships. The end of love extends this concept, reiterating that Florence has learned to love romantically and from free will, and not to enter a relationship in order to replace something she's missing from her life. It was also considered to become the title track of Florence and the Machine's fourth album, but Highest Hope was chosen instead of the former, because as the former was too negative. Amazing. It's so interesting how she is viewing love and how much she's struggled with it. I think that's why it makes me emotional, and family love, romantic love, all of it. Like, love's a very important thing. And when she spoke about, you know, how her family always struggled to be very like, I love you and intimate in that way, I just understand it. And I do, you know, very different with my daughter now. I tell her I love her constantly. I think being someone who has, you know, borderline personality disorder, a lot of abandonment issues, you know, but love can feel very void at times when it's not felt in a certain way. And, you know, learning to love romantically and from free will instead of doing it because you feel like you need love or need it to fill a void. She's doing it because she wants it, and it's real, it's natural, rather than something to feel where maybe some neglect or abandonment had been. But I don't know if I'm speaking coherently right now. I'm just two in my emotions. So if none of that made sense, please do forgive me. I think I'm thinking more than I can speak, and it's making sense in my head, but maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to think too heavily about it. Anyway, this is the last song now, and I'm trying to get through this without tears running down my face. It's called No Choir.
Because the older I get, I find that happiness is an extremely uneventful subject.
Interesting.
No course could come in about two people sitting.
I'm interested in what she means by that. Like, I find that happiness is an extremely uneventful subject. Does that mean that she's felt happiness more she's got older, so then the subject of happiness isn't as interesting because it's something that she feels more often? Or is it that she's actually feeling less happy and talking about happiness is just draining and boring at this point because it's like, whatever, you know, I barely feel it anyway, what's the point in talking about it? Yeah, I haven't found anything about it properly apart from saying like female artists do very well at making breakup albums. And like talking and singing about negative things is usually more alluring than positive things. However, I don't know if that's really clicking on what I wanted to find out about it. That's cool, actually, yeah.
I did it all for myself.
Nice. Sorry to pause so quickly, but I suppose she is literally saying, like, I don't really care what the media wants, like, whether singing about negativity is more popular. You know, there'd be no chorus or grand choirs about two people sitting around doing nothing, but she's saying, whatever, who cares, this is for me. I like that.
But the loneliness never left me. I always took it with me. No grand choirs to sing, no
love that.
seems to be still.
Wow. Oh, so peaceful. And that's still, oh, so, it's like being on a beach somewhere.
No ballad will be written, this will be entirely forgotten. Da, 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 da.
Wow.
Da, 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 da.
See a little pale green. It's really nice pale green. Wow, and that's the end. That's nice as well. It's like, it's almost like letting go as well. When she said, and if tomorrow it's all over, at least we had it for a moment. And that is something I wholeheartedly believe in. It maybe not in the sense she's talking about, but in the way I'm talking about it is when you feel happy or you feel good, really try and just live in the moment. It's very common for us to be like, things are good right now, let's panic about when it's bad. It feels too good, oh no, that means it's going to get really bad at any moment. We need to let go of that and just be like, it's good right now. So let's just have that. Let's have it. Why don't we deserve that? Why do we have to be thinking about the next bad thing? We can just live in that for a moment, and it's a practice. I'm not saying it's easy, but once you get to that point, oh, it feels incredible. Living for the moment, being present, being mindful, and not dwelling on the past, not thinking about the future. The present is a gift. So, open it up, open your mind up, open up your heart and live inside it for a little bit. It's fine to do so, and then when something bad happens, which it will, because that's life, it's a balance, right? And when something bad happens, you deal with it in the present. You deal with it head on, yeah? And it's so nice to be able to think, this is just for the moment. Everything is temporary. And then, you'll feel good again at some point. Balance. It's all about balance, and that is what life is. But if you're constantly thinking about the negative, constantly thinking about death of a career, death of a relationship, death of happiness, death of, real life death, when you die, then you're never living. So just live in the moment. And I really like that she said that, and that's what I got from it. It was also interesting when she talked about loneliness and loneliness in, within love. Having borderline personality disorder like I do, that's one of the very big feeling when you're not connecting with someone on a level where you are on the same wavelength, or maybe there's miscommunication, or someone's in a different mood to you, and you're not understood in some way or feeling the same way. That can all feel like abandonment. And what's abandonment? Abandonment leaves you lonely. Abandonment is being left alone without someone there for you. So it does completely tie in love and loneliness. And maybe I'm just getting the wrong end of the stick with the lyrics and I haven't looked deeply enough, but that's what I got from it. And I think that's what got me so emotional at times. That loneliness of craving love, not really knowing what love is, losing love in all senses of the word, and not feeling held by it, or feeling like you're the problem, you're holding too tightly, or whatever. There's a million things of what it could mean, and I do feel like I'm in a bit of a scramble making up my own thing about it, but this album has influenced my thoughts to think about that within myself and how that feels. Yeah, whatever. I'm like, think I'm kind of drained now, so I'm kind of just, I don't know, I'm deep. I'm feeling very deep, and yeah. But anyway, this album was incredible. Wow, this is my favourite one. This is 1,000,000% my favourite Florence album so far, and we still got her next one to come. But wow. I don't know what my favourite song is yet. South London Forever was so good. However, then there was more to come that were amazing. 100 Years was fantastic. Hunger, Big God, wow, I love that one. The End of Love, I mean, what can I say? I think they're all really good, and I'm really happy about that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my reaction. I feel like I could talk deeper about all these things and what I'm trying to say, but right now I'm too much in like an emotional headspace. It's hard to get it all out. if you're still here, I thought I'd just go a little bit deeper into what I meant about the loneliness and love, if you don't mind. Feel free to skip this part, the video's at the end anyway. But I'm in a better headspace now to explain it, basically. And I was just wanting to say, like, with BPD and probably other disorders or just the type of person you are, things like tone of voice changes or mood changes, energy changes, someone being tired, someone being hungry, any slight change in the other person that you're in love with can feel a bit like abandonment. And it's to no one's fault. And you've obviously, if you have that issue, you've really got to work on it, obviously. But it can feel like that if you're, say, in a vulnerable way anyway. And when you're abandoned, that makes you feel lonely. So lonely in love. You're lonely even around the people who love you, and you're lonely around the people that you love. And obviously abandonment is a huge part of BPD, borderline personality disorder, a huge part of like the root and so on. So talking about love in the way that Florence does, and from what I interpreted from some of it, was really painful. And when she spoke about her family not being very open in it, it made me think of how that can create an adult that really revolves their world around love, but in like a very dark way, a way where you'll struggle, where they try and find love in all the wrong places, but it not be real love, and always questioning what real love is, and not being able to express it very well, not really knowing what it feels like or what it should feel like. Yeah, I just really felt that, and because I personally learnt love in a way that was very, well, dark, it was in the place of someone who, SA'd me as a child. That was a very contorted love view that I grew up with, and I had to actually rewire my brain through therapy to understand love in a different way. And I don't think there is a real way to be able to do that apart from just going through heavy trauma and soul searching to do so. And I do feel that with Florence's music, she has done so much soul searching to understand love, from her own sort of experiences through childhood and so on, whatever that may be. But yeah, it just touched on something very deep. And like I said, I probably could talk about this forever and ever, because it's a thing that, it's like the most vulnerable part of me, basically. Like, when you don't feel loved or whatever, that is probably the most emotionally sad feeling in the world, and the most vulnerable and fragile. It's like the deepest and darkest. It almost feels like it's the most invisible to the world. Yeah, so talking about love is like bearing your soul. And I'm just very grateful that I have love in my life. But it doesn't matter how much love I have, I can always fall into that pattern of loneliness and feeling like I'm not truly loved, in a way, but not in a narcissistic way. More in a BPD way. I suppose that's what Florence feels, and that's why she writes music, and she pretty much said that earlier. Not always best with her words when she's speaking, but putting it into music can help it come out. Maybe I'll write a little poem. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Links in the description for Instagram, so follow me, I'll follow you back. All of that stuff. But anyway, bye.